Hello students, today we are going to start a new lesson. The name of the lesson is The Story of Keesh, written by Jack London. Okay, so I will give you the summary of the lesson. You can just listen to me. And you can also open the textbook, chapter 7. This is the last lesson for the half-yearly exam. Okay. So, in this story we learn about the story of Keesh. A young boy who was very courageous. Okay. So, Keesh lived at the edge of the polar sea. He had seen 13 suns in the Eskimo way of keeping times. Eskimo way of keeping time means because in the North Pole the sun rises 6 months and sun 6 months and rest 6 months it is in dark. So for 6 months it is winter. So we can say that divided into make it half, that 6 months winter and 6 months it is summer. So that is the Eskimo way of calculating the time. Okay. So among the Eskimos, the sun each winter leaves the land in darkness. Okay. And the next year a new sun returns. So it might be warm again. You understood what I am telling? I will repeat once again. Okay. So, in this chapter we see Keesh lived, the boy, we see the story of Keesh, we learn in this chapter. And Keesh lived at the edge of the polar sea, where he lived at the edge of the polar sea. And he had seen 13 suns in the Eskimo way of keeping time. So, how old he is? 13 years he is, okay. And we can say that among the Eskimos, the sun each winter leaves the land in darkness. Okay, so 6 months dark and 6 months day. Daytime and night, the darkness 6 months and the sun rises 6 months. Okay, and the next year the new sun returns, it might be warm again. That is why they calculate the year. They calculate after every winter they calculate the year. So, and next one is we see that the father of Keesh had been a brave man, but he had died hunting for food. How he died, the father of Keesh? He died for hunting the food. But he had died hunting for food. Keesh was his only son. Keesh lived along with his mother, Igiga. Okay, so Keesh was the only one son of their parents, and after the death of his father, Keesh was living alone with his mother. One night, the village council met in the big igloo of Koshkuan of the chief. Keesh was there. He listened and waited for silence. So one day what happened? They had the gathering, the meeting. Okay. So one night, the villagers gathered in front of the council. Who was the head of the council? Koshkuan. Okay, he is the man, the chief. He was the head of that council, and Keesh also was there. Keesh also attended the meeting and he listened and waited for silence. So all were talking, all were mostly the grown-up people, and he was very young, he was only 13-year-old, and he waited for let them complete their saying, and he also wanted to say something. And he waited for silence, that means he waited for others to keep quiet. He said, "It is true, you give meat, but it is often old and tough meat and has many bones." What did he say, Keesh? Keesh told that the Koshkuan, the chief, and the others, the elderly people, he got up and told that it is true that you give us but it is often very tough and bones, and many bones are in it. So we are not happy with that. Okay, so the meat which you share with us, if you are sharing, please give us the good meat. Okay, and the hunters were surprised. So Keesh said, my father Bok was a great hunter. Keesh told what? My father, my father was also a great hunter. It is said that Bok means, Bok, who is Bok? The father of Keesh, okay, was a great hunter, and he brought home more meat than any of the two best hunters. He is explaining to the other people. He stood up and he started to explain that my father also was a great hunter, you know that, and he brought much meat than any other great hunters, okay, and he divided the meat so that all got an equal share. That is the main paragraph, okay. So whatever we have received, we have not kept for ourselves. We were not selfish, and my father was very generous in giving. So what did he do? He was a great hunter, and whatever he got, the share approximately we have divided to everybody, okay, and everyone should got the equal share. Who said this? Keesh, the young boy of 13-year-old, okay. No, the hunter cried, no, what are you saying? Put the child out, bed. Send him to bed, he shouted, not to talk the grey beard this way. Keesh waited until the noise stopped. So what did the grown-up people told to Keesh? Keesh, you should not play like this. You are very young, and in front of the old people, you are not allowed to say anything. And he shouted that grey-beard people. Grey-beard means they were very old. They had a grey beard, and they told that please put that child into bed, go and sleep. You should not say anything against us. Keesh waited. The noise stopped. But Keesh, did he went away to bed? No. He waited that the others may keep quiet. Anyway, he wanted to come set forward whatever he wanted to say in front of the others. So we can say that he was a courageous boy, isn't it? So you have a wife, Ugluk, he said to the other people. You listen, my dear people, the great people. Okay, you have a wife, Ugluk, he said. To Ugluk, he said, the other fellow of the one of the older men. Ugluk, you have your wife. You have a wife, and you speak for her. You have a wife, and if anything she wanted, you speak for her. My mother has no one but me. I speak, so I speak. You know that my father has already died, and my mother and I live alone, and my mother is alone, and he is not able to speak like me. So I spoke for her. Okay. As I say, Bok hunted greatly, but it is now dead, and it is only fair that my mother, who was his wife, and his son should have meat. When the tribe has meat, I, Keesh of Bok, son of Bok, have spoken. So what did Keesh stood up and spoke to the elderly people? He told that to one of the old people, the name of that particular man is Ugluk. He told Ugluk that, Ugluk, you speak for your wife, and I am alone. I live with my mother, and she is alone. My father is already dead, and I spoke for my mother. Okay, so again there was great noise in the igloo. Again there was lot of noise. So how the young boy is speaking like this? Great noise was there in the igloo. The council ordered Keesh to go to bed again. It even talked of giving him no food. What was the punishment he got, Keesh? They told that the council ordered that please go to bed and don't give him any food. Keesh jumped to his feet. Hear me, he cried. Never shall I speak in the council igloo again. I shall go hunt meat like my father Bog. So what did he say finally? Now again I will not speak to you anything. But I have decided that I will go and hunt meat like my father Bog. Okay, I am also going for hunting, though I am young in age. I will also go for hunt like my father Bog. Okay, so the next day what happened? The next day Keesh started out for the shore. There was the land meet the ice, those bows and many arrows across his shoulder and his father's big hunting spear. And again there was laughter. So people were laughing and yelling, and also they might have been there was much laughter when Keesh spoke to the hunters, and the hunter followed the Keesh, and he told that I am going to go for hunting. And the next day what happened? Keesh took his father's arrows and spear, and again he went out for hunting. Okay children, so what happened the next day? The early next morning, Keesh walked into the village. Across his shoulders was fresh meat. So Keesh did not come back without anything. Okay, so he told that though I am young, I will go and hunt like my father. And the next morning he went out taking all the things, the arrows, the bows and all he had taken, and he went to the polar sea to kill the polar bear. Okay, so early morning Keesh walked into the village. Across his shoulders was fresh meat. He had a fresh meat in the on his shoulders, we can say. Okay, so go you men with dogs and sledges, follow my footsteps. Travel for a day, he said. There is much meat on the ice, a she-bear and her 2 cubs. His mother felt very happy. Keesh, trying to be a man, said to other, come, let us eat. And after that I shall sleep, for I am so tired. So after that hunting, what did he do? You men with the dogs and sledges, follow my footsteps. Please come. And you see what I have brought. Okay, there was much meat on the ice, she-bear and her 2 cubs. The she-bear and the 2 children he got. So enough meat he got. And by seeing that, his mother was so happy. And Keesh, trying to be a man, said to other, come, let us have. Did he eat alone, sitting and having that full the she-bear and the cubs? No. He has learned that the father Bog also was sharing the meat equally with others. So he also did the same thing. He called all the others of his tribes, and he called, please come and we will have together our meal. So they come, let us eat. And after that I shall sleep, for I am so tired. I am feeling so tired. And after this I will go and sleep. Okay children, that's all today. You have to go through the chapter once again. The story is very simple. Just understand the story and we can learn it. Okay, you also go read the chapter again and again. Thank you for listening.